Okay, is this our third video, fourth video of 816, 819? Is this third or fourth? Somebody tell me. Fourth, video 4, video 3.
I think it's video 4, ma'am.
Okay, last one then. Last one.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, if this finishes, we're done. I'm not coming back in because I have to go. And my mom's waiting for me. I always go see my mom around this. Anyway, so it's so funny because she called and I said, Mom, I'm here. Okay, everybody, please mute. We're listening to you. Somebody, who say it? Who is it? Thank you. All right, so let's finish that conversation, Leonard. You were saying things about what you do, and I love that you mentioned the sports, what specific sports it was, and I love that you were saying things about, you know, how you address the, you know, the different needs of the students, mental and the kinesthetic, the kinesthetic needs of the students. And what else was good? Can somebody comment on what else was good that he said that he should have said? Anybody? Because remember, I've been commenting, I've been modeling it for you guys. So now it's you, back to you. You have to give the work back to students. And that's why you give the work back to your audience. And that's what I'm doing now. I'm trying to follow what steps. Go ahead, Vanessa, what did you say? What did you like?
He created the dance steps about the cultural culture. I can't remember
about
what
culture. She's teaching about culture. Anytime you mention culture, that's a good thing. And I love the adjectives you use, you know, about you, and you were listening. And so that's a good thing because it tells me more about what you are. Okay, and you can see when we interview, we always take notes. So they're gonna take notes that you said that you are that. So that's a good thing to always kind of include at least three adjectives about you. Okay. Anything else, Leonard? Do you have anything else to add?
I guess wala na po.
Okay. Well, you might want to finish yours. It always finish with saying about thank you for, you know, giving me the time or the opportunity. Or you could say also why you want to come to the US or teach in the US, you know, for professional growth. But I always say personal and professional growth, you know, and in your statement, you need to show that also that you are you have a growth mindset, which you want to learn. So you've got a growth mindset. You believe that, you know, you are a lifelong learner, all this good stuff. Okay. And then yeah, thank you is always a good thing to end it with. Okay. Okay, who else have not talked to? Brian, I don't know if you say kadang or kadang. Kadang, I figured.
Kadang po.
Kadang. Okay. Yeah, that's why. Okay, go ahead. Tell us about you.
Good evening, ma'am. Thank you for this opportunity to be part in your class.
Okay.
So I am Brian J. Kadang from Nueva Ecija, Philippines. So I have been teaching for 12 years, handling different areas in mathematics, both elementary, secondary, and tertiary. I have double degree in master's, statistics, and mathematics. And I just finished my doctorate degree in mathematics education. I love research. I can say I am optimistic. I can work under pressure. I handle stress well. I am friendly.
You're what? You're frenzy?
Friendly.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm telling you, I can't hear either.
I am friendly. It's always my dream to teach in USA. Aside from I want to learn their culture, I want to learn more on technology and research. And also, I want to change the conception when it comes to mathematics, that this is difficult subject. I always make sure that I am a motivation. I myself be the motivation of the students in learning the subject. I always make sure that my students engage, enjoy, and having fun during my class. So that's it, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for this opportunity.
Oh, very
God
good.
bless.
Very good. First of all, I want to congratulate you for your doctorate degree. That's not easy to get. I know because
thank you.
Because I was there. But anyway, you and Dr. Elvin, thank you for going above and beyond in our profession. And math, by the way, math and science here, high school math and science are very have a shortage, really bad shortage, like they could not fill the positions. So I figured your math and science folks, some literacy, but mostly science and math, you should have a very good chance to get a job, because they are begging for them. They're like, oh, please give us some science and math, you know. So anyway, so I wouldn't be surprised if you will have more than one job offers. So anyway,
Actually,
yeah. So yeah, I hope so,
actually-
right? So I want you to, if you did not get my email about the direct application to the Little Rock School District, if somebody has that from my email, can somebody put that in chat, please? That way everybody can see it, because they still have a lot of openings. And if they have my list, right? But if you applied to them and it's kind of double, they see it, and I have, you know, I've highlighted the science and the math with different colors, color coded them, because that's a very big shortage here. So so if they see that and they get your application, then they may get to know more about you, like straight from you. So I told them the process, that the first thing they do is they need to contact you directly. They don't have to go through me. You know, I had a mistake of saying yes to having go through me, and I had to set the Zoom. And because I don't want to be in the Zoom, I have to, like, every time they would change candidates to, here I am having to go back. And I'm like, I have a life. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do a Zoom for people. I said, these are people I'm helping. So these are folks I'm helping. And so I'm not going to be in the interview. It's like a coach being in the tournament, right? You just have to be on the side. You cannot be in the interview with the others that are trying to hire you. And so, but I would like to know, you know, I would like to know if when you're interviewing, I would like to know what the result, how do you feel about it? You know, I love to know when you have a job offer. Okay, I'd like to keep up with you so I know where you are. If you are here in America, I'd like for you to meet us. You know, I might get a van. You know, I have a friend who owns a car rental place, and he would let me use a van. So I'm like begging him this. I'm like, I need to use a van to get the new Filipinos to come here to Salem. You know, it's a 4-hour drive, and I only have a Prius. So Prius can fit like 4 in the back. I mean, 3 in the back and 1 in the front. So that's 5 of us. Well, of course, we did 6 the one day because they're so little, baby, they're skinny. So they were able to put like 4 in the back. Anyway, yeah. So anyhow, thank you for that, and thank you for introducing yourself and joining us. Okay, are you all in my
Thank you,
support
Mom.
group? I hope you're in my support group for I say, what is it called? What's it? International Teacher
Support
in America, right? Yeah, I think that's what I said. I name it that. And I think when my goal is to have an agency, I'm going to call it that. So that's the name of the agency in the future. I'm working on it, but I'm not going to charge as much as the others did. It will just be to cover my expenses, but that's it. I'm not going to, you know, I hear that some agencies, they are charging 1 million pesos. That is ridiculous.
yes.
That is taking advantage of folks. You know, because why would it cost 1 million pesos? Nothing costs 1 million pesos, because the embassy, I mean, itself would only charge like 1,600 something. And so the others, about around 2,000 is what I'm saying. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, they do that. Sometimes it reaches up to 1 million pesos because, like, for example, you don't have the cash. So they're going to offer you a lending company that you have to sign contract with. So the interest goes higher and higher. That's how it
Please don't
reaches
do that.
1M.
Okay, guys, if you have me, please don't do that. Okay, because they're doing what I'm doing, except I'm doing it for free. Okay, and they're not going to go above and beyond like we're doing a Zoom or anything like that. They're not going to do that. Some of them would say, well, I signed a paper and then I had to find a job myself, and then they still want their money. Okay, so I feel like if you're going to charge, you better be working for it. You better earn it. That's what I believe. I mean, I think, you know, folks in the Philippines, we work on it here too, but we work so hard for our money, and then somebody will just take it. That's crazy. And one of the bigger schools here called me, emailed me and said, Dr. McCullough, we are gonna rescind the offer of so-and-so. And I said, why? And they said, well, because this company that she gave me the information, they were wanting 20% of her pay. 1/5 of her pay was gonna go to this agency. And the school just felt like, we don't want her getting ripped off. We don't want her being cheated for something that she works hard for, and somebody will just get 20%. And I said, I understand completely. She does not need to be dealing with that. And, you know, if they signed it, on, my husband's phone is ringing. Okay, when they signed it, then it will expire in 1 year. So wait for the expiration because you do not want them to get your money. For the J1 visa, hang on, my husband's. For the J1 visa, you do not need a third party because you have to get them from the list of designated sponsors. Those are the only ones you would have to use. Do not use somebody else that's not on that list. Okay, for the H1 visa, you do not need anybody at all because it's going to be between you and the school. The school is your sponsor and they have to pay for the cost on H1B. That's why H1B is better, but it takes 2 to 6 months. You know, the J1, you're here in a month or two. So, but then it's gone. I think there's a 300,000 limit for the whole world for them to come. And I think there's a 65,000 limit on H1B, but there's 20,000 extra that if you have your doctorate, then you can actually apply by yourself and that will not count. There's not a cap of you. You're not going to be included in the limit. So if you have a doctorate degree, you might want to, ask me, email me and see what form you need, because you can actually get started on it and then have the employer to give you the job offer and so on, finish it. And then you will not be a part of the limit of the cap. So that helps. Yeah. So anyway, I might have to move this because my husband is working. My husband is talking to my bonus daughter. I call that bonus daughter instead of stepdaughter because stepdaughter always had a bad connotation. So yeah, I'm gonna be out here. I'm out here in the porch. Okay, so that's it. What was the topic now? About the application of H1B.
So the
Of the
H1B,
H1B, yes.
ma'am.
Of the H1B. So anyway, the lighting. Okay, so what else? Who else did we miss? Sonia, you want to talk to me, Sonia?
Hello,
I'm just
Dr.
saying.
Merlina.
Yeah, I don't talk to you
Good
before.
morning.
Good morning. Yeah.
Yes, I'm still on standby mode because I have also a doctorate in linguistics, in language,
Oh,
and it's quite difficult to find an offering, like an opportunity because like maybe I am like overqualified.
and that's the sad thing about that
Yes.
is that
Yes.
if you apply for a teacher and they have to pay you worth 2 teachers. So that's why in my part, I have to move on to administration because they cannot, they don't want to pay somebody as a teacher a salary for 2 teachers. And so Elvin, Little Rock is a school with a lot of money. So the more education you have, the more that they want you. Okay. Because they can afford it.
But then when was this? Someone sent me an email, but she did not give me the link.
Okay.
From Wanda. Her name is Wanda Roffins, and she's from Cloverdale Middle School. And she told me that she called my phone, but I think she thought I'm from the US because I have a teaching license in New Mexico.
Right.
So she thought that I was in the US, and she said that I but only got a busy signal. So I told her that, ma'am, could you please give me a Zoom link because my Wi-Fi, my phone here is not working well. And she did not reply.
So, okay, this is also what's going on. Some of our administrators here, the older ones, and they have not been updating themselves on the technology because they usually have assistants. And so they might not be comfortable with Zoom. And they have to ask their assistant to do it for them. And maybe their assistant is not working yet because school has not started. So I'm finding that, and that's shocking to me. That I'm like, really?
Yes.
Superintendent, and don't like Facebook, don't like email, don't like, oh my gosh. And I guess that's a shocking thing for me because I am very big in technology. One of the Filipino teachers were like, yeah, I'm in my 50s, but I love technology. I taught Google Suite to teachers. And so, but you have to be aware of, be updated on technology, right? So I hope you do get it.
Okay.
I hope you do get it.
Yes, but I really love this group. So I
Oh,
just
good.
attend and take down notes because like I want you in the future to make a handbook
Yes.
for educators in the Philippines that we will have a guide. Those who want to migrate to the US, like a step by step.
Yeah.
You
You can,
like what all your lectures you incorporate.
yeah.
It's very interesting.
You can co-write that with me because my sister and I are writing a book
Yes.
now about how to navigate coming to the US and then what
Yes.
to expect. We're
Yes.
on chapter 10 now. So
Okay.
if that's published, what happened is I get asked to speak a lot. And every time I finish, they say, do you have a book? Do you have something that you can sign or whatever? And I said, I don't, but here's my business card. That's what I do. So my sister and I for years have started books. Like we did not finish it, but this time I think I really do, because I'm going to involve the teachers that are here. I'm going to want their feedback. I'm going to want their authentic, experiences. I'm already talking to them that I would love for you to be involved in it. So it's like more of a collaboration thing. So yeah, that's a good,
Yes.
you need to go to
I'm
the
very
other
willing.
for that. Yes. Do yours. So
Because
yours
I'm
is like an equivalent.
textbook writer.
Yeah.
I have written so many textbooks in the
Oh,
Philippines.
wow. That's amazing. We
Yeah,
are so honored to have you.
for the 11 and 12
Oh,
and
wow.
college level.
Well, we are very honored to have you in our group. Okay.
Yes.
I'm going to move on. Thank you again, Sonia. Layla.
Yes.
Layla,
you.
I just filled out a reference check for you from Little Rock. Okay. So it was
Yes.
Dr. Elvin and Layla. So Layla, did you already hear from them?
Good evening, Doc, and
Good
good evening to my co-teachers also here.
Okay.
Yes, Doc. My district supervisor just called me this afternoon, and he said that he already signed the reference that the Little Rock had sent him.
Good.
So
So you need to check with the other one too. Whoever's in your list, you need to contact her or him and tell him it's coming or look for it. Sometimes it gets put in their spam. So have them to look
Yes.
for it, because in all probability that was sent at the same time. Same thing with Dr. Elvin. You need to check with the other people on the list, folks on the list that's with me, that they may have been sent one already. And sometimes they have a deadline on those. So if you don't do it on the deadline, see what happens is they have a list, right? And they have a list of their top 10 or whatever, and then they would have a point system. So for example, if you 10 points for every review, a reference, you just lost 20 points if 2 of your reference checks did not make it, did not turn it in. So then you dropped off of the list. Okay, so make sure that you always tell them that if you're serious about being my reference, please make sure that you fill it out. And fill it out with a 10, with an excellent.
Yes,
That's what I do.
yes, Doc. That's
Yeah.
what I told him. That
Yeah.
please, sir, just take the excellent, not the very good. Okay, it is.
Yeah.
It's for my own good. And yes, and then he said, okay, yes, sure, why not?
Yeah, because the other people, the other teachers on the list may have all excellent, and you have very good, so you have one point less. So you want, every one of you, because I believe that if you're here attending my Zoom in your own time, especially at night that late, I feel like you are really good. You're excellent in my book. So so yeah.
But he added, Doc, that he find it difficult to answer what is my strength and my weakness, so he needs to Google it. He said, "Oh, I just Google your strength and the weakness. Sorry about that." But he explained it to me that in my strength, he put there that I am very collaborative, and in my weakness, I am fond of multitasking. Oh, I said to him, "It's okay, sir. That's I think that's an A+ points for me."
Yeah. Well, why does he have to Google? I mean, doesn't he know you?
Because I think he's very busy at the time, and he's running out of time thinking. So he said he just Googled it and made some
Funny.
as on the comment box, because I think he's driving home, and when he fill it up.
Yeah. Well, what happened is I usually put like this person is passionate, caring, dedicated, or collaborative is a good one, or a team player. And I would always, in the end, do you have anything else to say? And I would say things like this, Layla would be an asset to your organization. I highly recommend her, or something like that. So good stuff, right? But it could be like generic, but it's good things. Multitasking, not necessarily is negative actually, because you want people that could multitask. You want folks that could multitask and do, but as long as you balance it. So if I would use the word multitask as a negative, I would say she needs to balance her professional and personal lives. That's always what I put, that that she works too hard, but then she's kind of Leonard, I know you're sleepy. Anyway, we're about to wrap this up. I think I've talked to everybody except Mac. Can you talk to us, Mac, please? My goal is always to have a one-to-one with you when you're here, especially that's kind of your orientation. So when I go back to my video, I know who you are. Okay, Mac, go ahead, please.
Hi, ma'am. Good
Hi.
morning.
Good morning.
It's actually almost evening here in Doha, Qatar.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm in the Middle East. So I would like to give my short intro about myself. I'm a graduate of Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in English. I have completed my academic requirements for my master's degree, but unfortunately, I wasn't able to finish it, my thesis seminar, due to some circumstances. I got pregnant that time, so I have to stop. And yeah, that's it. I taught in the Philippines for almost 7 years in a private school and in the Department of Education. And my journey as a teacher here in Doha started in 2018. With all of these experiences, I met a lot of different students here in Doha. I learned different culture, different beliefs, the way they dress, their food, and all of this that I have to consider when I'm doing my planning, when I'm doing activities and lessons that, sometimes I'm prohibited in doing these things, in doing these activities because of their culture and their belief. Yeah. So that's what I miss a lot in the Philippines, because we get to do performance tasks and activities that are like anything that you want the students to do, for them to be able to learn and to do it on their own, and like learning by doing. Yeah.
Right.
So, but of course, at certain point in time, I also want to like aim high, or to know more, a lot of cultures and other experiences that, in other countries. So my friend who was actually there in Arkansas, if you know her, ma'am, her name is Alginia.
Oh yeah,
She was,
Jing. Oh
yeah,
my God,
she was
she's one of my favorite people here. Yes,
she's
favorite
my
teacher.
friend, and she's already there, and she actually encouraged me to try and also apply. And yeah, that's why I'm here. And I heard that this is the last meeting, so I was really grateful that I was able to join this Zoom meeting. Yeah.
Well,
Thank you, ma'am.
yeah, because I'm thinking you will be teaching, you will need time to do lesson planning. So what I'm
Mhm.
planning to do in the future is that we only need to meet when there's something I really need to talk to you about, because I will send you the link to all the previous videos. In all probability, things that you need to know, you will just have to review the videos. So I'm giving you
Yes, ma'am.
all the videos whenever, I send the last link, because I also I will be busy also, because I'll be traveling a lot, visiting schools. So it's really hard. I feel like I have to introduce myself to my husband again. I feel like I'm being I feel like I'm a part-time wife again. So anyhow, yeah. I retired early because he said, I'm kind of tired of having a part-time wife. Because I was living in
I can
Lima.
really relate to that, ma'am, because my husband was also in the Philippines before, and now
Oh.
He's here in Qatar.
Oh, I
so.
bet you're happy because I was so happy when I went home and I didn't have to go to Little Rock anymore, and live there. By the way, when you say you're working for the Dep Ed, instead of saying the working for the Dep Ed, because that's confusing to them here, say you're in public school. Because
Yeah.
here we just call it public school because we don't
Public
say
school.
Dep Ed because Department of Education, we do like get things from the Department of Ed, like standards, training, all that stuff, but we're not over the whole school. So it's confusing to the administrators here. So they would say, you would just say in a public
Public
school
school.
instead of
Oh.
Dep Ed, okay? And if you say
That's not
Ed, yeah, if you say Dep Ed, they don't know what that is. So you have to say it, Department of Education. Anyway,
All right.
so yeah, okay. Well, thank you. And
Thank
for
you.
joining us. That is so good.
Thank
Okay.
you, ma'am.
Hey guys, everyone, if you feel like there is something that you really want to meet with me, just email me. And if I have at least 10 emails, I will go ahead and Zoom. And you tell me what you want to talk about, okay? I guess I would say it's as needed now, because it's hard whenever you are, you have to plan. So, okay, Joel, I've talked to you. Raymond, Emma, I've talked to you, right? Annie, Leonard, talked to you. Elvin, I've talked to Dr. Elvin, and Brian, I have. So I've talked to everybody. Okay, so now it's a wrap up time. So tell me something that you picked up that you may want to use. Even one thing. Remember, I said if you learn one thing, I'm happy. So make me happy. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Erwin.
Erwin, hello, ma'am. One thing that I think very important is the class learning strategy that you have told us just a while ago, the clock appointments. I really love that, and I want to apply that in my mathematics subjects.
Good. Take pictures. I want to see pictures. Okay, send it on, or post it in a support group and say, I've learned this from our Zoom, and here's how it looks like. Okay.
Yeah, I actually having my notes while you were talking just a while ago, and then I also want to have that reporting, the reporting concept, because in mathematics, I'm not using reporting, but when you were discussing it just a while ago, I realized that reporting is possible in mathematics, especially those problem solving. We can just give specific problem to students, and they could analyze it and report it to the class.
That's right.
So that a possible strategy of solving a certain problem could be discussed within the whole class.
Right.
And collaboration.
Yeah. Well, you learned a lot. That's good. A+ for you.
I actually have my notes, 4 pages.
Oh my gosh, I talk too much. So when you do your team thing, it's very motivational for students. When you have have them form a team, name their team. I had a team change every month, and they name it. They have a shirt, like a shirt, a team name, and with their shirt decorated, and we display it. And on their I have a chart, motivational chart that's with their teams, and I web sticker. And so when they reach a line there on the sticker chart, then they get a prize from my treasure chest. Anything like that. Or it could be a little ticket that could get them free homework. Little things like that. Your students and you know what works. But I always thought that if I did something like that, sometimes they would have a group ticket, a group score, whatever. Everybody got their homework, and especially in a class where they're not very crazy about bringing homework, I would always reward the whole team. Oh my gosh, this is team 3. All of the 100% brought their homework, whatever. Also, parent-teacher conference, 100% all the parents attended, So anything like that, you can use a motivational thing. So thank you so much. Okay, next, anybody? Oh, Leonard is there now trying to come back in. Okay, anybody? Share, please.
Me.
Okay,
I would like to share.
Go ahead, Katrina, yes.
Yeah. So first and foremost, I learned not to use the word permissive, but instead use the word collaborative. And then replace the word worksheets into activities. And I really like the appointment clock, because while you were explaining it, another teaching strategy came into my mind, which is, for me, they somehow is a little bit alike, but the appointment clock is like in a more advanced, or shall I say, they give more opportunity to collaborate with other. So in the lower grade level, we use think, pair, share. So it's like
Yes.
you're sharing,
TPS,
and but in that way you're gonna have you will choose a partner, and then most of the time you will choose the same partner the following time. So appointment collect is a better way, because you will have, it's you'll be sure that the next time you're going to have appointment, you will be with a different person. So and then I really liked it when you said the how are you going to address the angry hearts of the parents, because I can relate to that. When I was in Muscat, Oman, most of the many peoples who were angry most of the time when they come into the school. So when you were explaining your situation, how you handled that, so I could somehow see myself way back 3 years ago. So yeah, it was like more on like connecting our experiences
A
together.
validation. That's good. Yeah, by the way, you're not really replacing that TPS with the appointment clock, because you're actually combining two strategies. Okay, because you're combining the pairing part of the clock, and then you're doing the TPS. Sometimes they put a TPWS, that means think, pair, write, and then share. Because if they write, then they kind of give them a little agenda, so that they will not just be off task. They really have a written thing that they have to share. So TPWS I use more than the TPS. Okay, but TPS I use when I'm in a hurry, but I only have little time and I want them to process it. But if I have more time, I want to do TPWS, because I want to collect it and I want their names on it. So I want to see what they're writing there, because I always include writing on every day. They write every day for different reasons. Okay. Okay. Good. 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 Okay. Next. Those are really great stuff that you're sharing. I'm so glad I'm teaching you something. Okay. Okay, go ahead. Joel, or is it Annie? Either one of you. Remember, when this goes off, we're done. Okay. Okay, go ahead.
My turn, ma'am.
Yes, go ahead, Annie.
Okay. I must agree when you say learning by doing is very effective, because especially in my subject, TLE, which is a performance based, I really apply that in my class, because I talk less and then I let my students do the activities after I give them some a less instruction. And then one thing that really stands out for me in your discussion, which is I am also doing that, ma'am, is when you connect the lesson to the real life situations, the lesson becomes very meaningful to them. That's why retention is higher.
Right.
Like if I use their names when I give examples, or when I taught Math 7, I remember when I relate something, what's that? A theorem, if how they will use that real life in the real life situation, they remember that, and I heard them talking in the lab. Oh, I can use the addition, something like addition in and subtraction in riding a tricycle, something like that.
Very
and
good.
That's very how we call that?
Relevant.
I felt like I'm successful in that lesson delivery. So
Yeah.
the concept of textualization and localization is also an effective way.
Very good. I like that, because yes, you always need to connect and find out. You should never just like lecture. I call that mini lesson when I do 10 minutes. I'll do a 10-minute mini lesson. So pretty much I kind of taught them whatever I wanted to do, and then they do the activity. And then I might do another mini lesson. So after they shared, then I'll do a debrief. I call that debrief when I ask them to share. That's called debriefing. So it's all, I always end up with activity with a debriefing time, and let them process what they learn. And then I move on to the next part of my lesson. And so when I think of my lesson, I actually break it down to like chunks of 15 or 20 minutes, in order for me to know I have done my lesson, I've done the activities, and then I've wrapped it up in a neat bow, So yeah, that sounds good. That sounds really good, the connection that you made. Okay, next, anybody else? And
Yes, ma'am.
Me now?
Okay, go ahead, Joel.
I have learned a lot from this virtual conversation. One is very essential that you have to define acronym, and then number two, um, be sensitive enough in choosing the right word to utter, because we have different cultures, Philippines and the US, and I learned that the lesson that the teacher should be preparing should be engaging, and should be knowing what the child needs, and it should be you should be aware of the content, because you cannot give, no, there should be mastery of the content, because you cannot give what you do not have. I believe in that. And then assessment is very important, so with the reflections, what went wrong throughout the entire teaching and learning process. And the most essential thing there is collaboration, with the school head, with the principal, with the parents, and the community. And be genuine, be authentic in your lesson, and then make it the point that there is because I am teaching mathematics. For me, I should be there should be a paradigm shift that mathematics can be learned easy.
Very good. Very good. I like that
Thank you.
because of the math anxiety, and you're helping with the math anxiety. That's really good. And you know what? When you show me that you are taking notes, it's actually flattering me, because it reminds me of a story when I was doing, I was doing this conference, and so I was pretty much teaching, I guess. But all of them are white, right? And I'm the only Filipino. And so I had this Chinese guy that's the brother of the owner of the restaurant, who put food in there, for us. And the whole time he was like getting it ready, he was looking, like really looking at me like this the whole time. And so later on, he told his sister that, you know what, that Filipina, she was teaching the white people. And they're taking notes and everything. And I never thought of it that way, that we are teaching, other culture. I mean, I know I was teaching other culture, but I never looked at it that way, that, hey, they're all white and I'm teaching them. I never looked at it that way, because to me, I'm like, we're educators and we're just teaching each other. I always say that. In fact, when I introduce myself to the students of our teachers here, I would say I'm her mentor, but really she's also teaching me. We're learning from each other. Okay, so I'm here to observe you because I want to learn as well. I don't ever want to feel like, you under me or whatever. We are all collaborators. That's how we should treat our colleagues. And that's kind of how I believe. I'm not above here. We're right there even with you, and we are learning from each other. Okay. All right, next.
Yeah, I'd like to.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Yes, Emma.
I am. Yes. I'd like to relate to share my experience with the students having a disruptive one, wherein I have. That is at that time, that was I would say that the worst, but it would become my the happiest experience being me as a teacher, wherein during that time, at that year, way back 2 years ago, wherein I do have 50 students, most male, then I only have 5 female students. Then out of the 50 male students, wherein there are 17 male students who are 3 times repeater. That was the probably the scariest, the happiest experience of my life. Wherein during my time, my students there are members of fraternity, wherein me as a teacher, I was tested of how my patients being to them, how to handle the situations, wherein I was involved, wherein they had a fight. Then one of the students involved my name. No, so as a teacher, I was trying to probably I would say, should I give up my students? Imagine I have 50 male students, were in 17 3 times repeater. Then they involved my name that I was the one who asked them to punch their other classmates.
Oh my God!
So I was really shocked, and I was supposed to be abandoned. And I told them I cry in front of them. Then I realized. Then I used my mother instinct and mother's love, wherein. Should I give up? Then I said, no. I keep on praying, give me a guide, Lord, where could I touch my students? Then I realized that by using their weak point into a strength one, what I mean is using the weak point and becoming into strength, strength wherein you can maximize. So by that one, I try to comfort and ask, talk to them in a motherly way. So in a span of it's not an easy, although it took me how many months before I was able to touch their hearts and their lives. Then in the end, I was able to get the trust of my students and